Oh, we're not on camera.
No, we are not on camera when we do these intros, Meadow.
We are not. I forgot.
Thank God for that.
Truly.
Guys. Today, we are thrilled to bring you one of our most
Your favorite.
highly requested episodes.
Our favorite.
Miss Tefi Pessoa. Yay! Hold for
Tefi!
applause. Tefi was one
We
of our
love you.
first episodes of season 1 of the pod. We have been dying to get her back on the podcast, and we're so grateful and happy that she made the time because this woman and her schedule.
No, truly. I mean, pulling off your birthday surprise and pulling off this podcast.
We talk about the birthday surprise in this
We
episode.
do talk about the birthday surprise. I mean, how could we not? It was a great birthday.
But if you don't know, let me just give you a little background. And if you didn't listen to part 1, head on over there. Maybe stay here. We don't want to ask too much of you. Stay here, listen to this episode, and if you feel so inclined, go to part 1.
Yeah.
But you may know her as your favorite Thea on TikTok. With over 1.6 million followers on TikTok, Tefi Pessoa is a host,
That's right.
pop culture content creator, and overall genius creative. And of course, she's my Miami sister forever.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, her ability to connect with people, from celebrities to her followers and community, she just makes everybody feel like a human in the most amazing and connective. Is connective a word? Connective
It
way?
is now.
Can I
Yes.
say that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
say
You
it.
can.
She's hysterical, kind, generous, truly one of the best people that Meadow and I know.
Truly.
She was also InStyle's red carpet correspondent for 2 years and has hosted countless events and is now hosting her own show, which you can
That's
find on
right.
YouTube, called This Is My Super Bowl, where she interviews her friends while they answer questions from a shrimp bowl.
And it's hilarious.
Because she is a creative queen. It's hilarious. They're very good episodes. Please go check them out on YouTube. Honestly, Tefi just reminds me to create the job that I want.
Period.
And just start.
Absolutely.
Just create the idea and do it.
Absolutely.
She practices what she preaches.
She does. And she's just always so magnetic to talk to. God, I just love her. And we talked about a lot today. I mean, we're 3 chatty gals. So we really, we're also all friends. So when we're together, we really ran the gamut. But just some of the things we talked about was her current thoughts on her career and kind of the content creator space as a whole. We talked about balancing, recognizing what's frustrating for you and allowing for bad days while also living in our gratitude. We talked about having supportive friends, looking at you and her. We talked about being a Latina in the media space and how it relates to standing firm in her boundaries. She's done a lot of growth since season 1 Tefi and season 4 Tefi. So we had a lot to cover.
Mean, that woman just
I
doesn't
know.
stop.
Quantum leaping, bi-weekly.
It's unbelievable. I could rant about her forever.
All day.
Literally all day. I learned so many lessons from this woman, and I'm so grateful to call her a friend. And if any of you have ever met her in person or even just watch one of her videos, just
She's
how
the exact
magnetic
same. You get it.
she is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
Tefi, we love you a lot. Come back.
We love
Come
you.
back to LA and hang out with us, or we'll just come to New York soon.
Yeah, we'll move in.
We'll move in.
All right. Enjoy today's episode. Thank you guys for listening.
Enjoy.
Here's our conversation with Tefi Pessoa.
Show me the nipples on that shirt, baby. God,
My
that's a
friend
good
drew
shirt.
it. She's such
Shut
a good,
up. It's so Matisse. It's beautiful.
Yeah, want to see this other thing that she painted for me?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Does she sell them? I'll buy one.
Yeah, on Etsy.
Tefi, link that to me yesterday.
Oh,
no,
wow.
Look at this.
No. Tefi,
shout out her Etsy.
What's her name? I need the link.
Mama Sabe Studio. She's from Argentina.
Whoa.
She painted this blazer.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God, I'm going shopping.
Bag. And then finally.
Stop it.
Yeah, say less.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to need you to drop the link later because that is just beautiful.
She literally goes to the thrift store and just like paints on everything, and it's so beautiful. But yeah. Anyway,
wow, I love it.
I'll link you for sure.
Thank you.
I just filmed like 3 episodes of my show from 10 to 2.
I don't even know if you're like a comment reader. How's it been with your new show? Like comments on YouTube and community on YouTube versus TikTok?
Oh yeah.
So I'm like on episode like 5, like the 5th episode comes out on Sunday.
Okay.
And I've just recorded 14. I already have 14.
God damn.
Jesus, Tefi.
I know.
I know. And then I have 15, and then I'm breaking for like a month or so and going into like season 2, right? So like
Cool.
it's a slow build,
Right.
you know, and a lot of the people that are on those YouTube comments are like supportive, but there are also people who I call like, you don't know me that well to be teasing me, because even people that know me for 10 years don't fucking tease me. Okay? You don't fucking know me like that.
Yeah.
So when I see people that are like, not the sound getting fucked up, I'm like, now you're blocked. Are you happy? It's an inside joke, as in you're outside,
Right.
basically. Like you're now bye. But then on shorts, I think the shorts are new. And I had a meeting with YouTube because I was hearing different things from different people. You know what I mean? Like somebody says, don't use shorts. Another person says, oh, they love shorts. Another person says, treat them like stories, like Instagram stories. So then I was like, I need to talk to YouTube about this fucking algo.
Yeah.
Algo. Yeah, she's a cool girl. Like whatever.
She's hip. She's young.
Yeah. She's young. She's a Gen
slaying.
Z.
She's slaying left and right. Okay, and she's giving slay. No. So I had a call with YouTube, and they were like, your long form content, it's on watchability, how much people watch, but your watchability depends a lot on your thumbnail, and the algorithm won't boost it unless your shorts are directing people to YouTube. And it doesn't matter what time you post on shorts, because the algorithm can only handle one short a day or you get buried. It's like so different. And there's like all this, like Twitter, it's like no man's land.
Right.
Instagram is like private school. TikTok is like public school.
Yeah.
And YouTube is corporate office.
Yeah.
Wow. I like can't keep up. And you know who flunked out of school 4 times?
Yeah.
I'm on campus all over. I appreciate social media for keeping me young.
Clearly.
But at the same
She's
time,
got the lingo. Yeah.
I was talking to somebody the other day. I'm like, the people who have this algorithm down are so successful.
I want to crack the inside of their brain and just like see what it looks like.
Literally.
Oh my God. But when we were growing up, there were like, what, 10 famous people?
Yeah.
Period.
No, it's overwhelming. Dude, when I moved to LA and then I became friends with people, like especially people who like, okay, right, in New York, we have like the inner group of like cool kids when it comes to like knowing who's who is like, we're like the fashion kids, we're the editorial kids, we're like, you know, whatever. Here it's like, did you work in the mailroom at WME, CAA? Like those are the people. When I like became friends with some of those people, like the way that they would talk about like, oh, this person, I'm like, I'm so happy that my brain does not have the bandwidth or the capacity to know who any of those people are.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. I can't keep up and I don't want to.
You know, I know no one. Yeah.
You're so free.
I'm so free under my rock.
You're so free. My friends is like, Paris Hilton had a gossip blog. And I was like, you're so free. You're so fucking free. Perez.
Tefi's like Paris episode 57 on your fucking TikTok. Whenever I see those, you're like story number 112. And I'm like,
what are you doing today?
Are you okay?
I'm doing Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes.
Oh,
how do you break those down?
Yeah, how do I break those down? Gabby, I love it. I have the best fucking time. Happy. But it's like, you know that you love going to Soul Cycle or whatever, but you still dread going when you're putting on your shoes. You're like,
of course. Yeah,
it's one of those things. But it's my favorite thing to do. It's what the comment section is so funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's when I interact the most with people, and I feel like where people get to know me the most.
Oh,
you know what
sweet.
I mean? Because
totally.
nobody gives opinions on fucking anything anymore. People like, and I think it's so irresponsible. You can't just post Dwayne Wade's daughter wore this today at a fashion show and let fucking comments fly. You're irresponsible and you're dangerous. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? Like I look at these networks, you don't regulate these comments. You're going to let this 14-year-old girl read this shit. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
So like, I think when people give opinions, they're scared of being canceled. And I'm like, but you're not a piece of shit. So who cares?
Right.
You're not a hateful person.
Right.
You know? But I think when it comes to TikTok and stuff, there has come to a point where I look around and I'm like I went to the VP's house, right? She had Dia de las Madres. Like
I know we needed to talk about that.
And my mommy,
she's very cute. Beautiful. I know she
was on Telemundo, interviewed us, and it was the first time. It was the first time in my life in my 32 years that they asked her, do you learn anything from your daughter? And my mom said perseverance, and she cried. And I said, you're obsessed with me.
Mom, are you obsessed with me?
What?
No, I cried. No, I cried because I was like, my whole adult life is like, oh my God, I was so terrible. I have to make this up to my family. And then to see like her talk about me like I wasn't there, and it be like positive, because usually in my youth, her friends would come up to me like, I heard you didn't pass your driver's license again. I said, did she tell you I got a 5 in AP history? Did she tell you I got a 5? And she's like, no, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm like, cool. So going to the VP's house, like it was Dia de las Madres, so it was all Latinas. That's wonderful because you get to meet people, like the people from Poderistas was there, you know.
Oh my God, I wish I was there. Put me in your pocket next time.
Literally.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Wow.
Oh my God, Gaby really is your Polly Pocket. That's cute.
I know. I literally, if you ever see me at an event with Tefi, I'm not her manager and I'm
You're
not her
her
publicist, but I
Polly
will be.
Pocket.
No, but I will be. I
her, like,
turn into your publicist so fast, but then
fast.
you
She
become.
represents
But
me.
she does for you
But then
too.
you
That's
do
the whole,
too.
this is the friendship. This is what we're saying. Anyway,
Yeah.
keep going.
This is my genius friend, Gabriella.
And I'm like
She
standing
comes
with
from
3
a
phones
small
taking
town.
pictures of Tefi.
She's like, yeah, that's me.
She's like,
Small
Tefi, chin
town.
down. Tefi, chin down. I'm like, thank you.
Tefi.
Chin down. No, but at that event, I was telling my mom, there are so many times when I'm next to somebody or like my publicist gets a new client, and I know that she works with digital creators. So she'll be like, oh, I want you to meet my client. Hi. And later I look her up and she has 14 million on Twitch.
Bro.
Kiki?
There's space for everyone. There's space for everyone.
Yeah.
That's what it tells you.
But this week, I recently had a little bit of a breakdown.
Wait, let me ask you. Hold on. Pause.
Yeah.
I'll ask you in the Thoughts May Vary way. Tefi, what are you currently unpacking?
Oh, cute.
My apartment.
No.
No. Give us the breakdown.
Really I know emotionally. I know,
Yeah.
but I'll show you really quickly.
Wait, are we in okay, we're in New York.
Wow.
Those are my water bottles.
Where's the infrared sauna, baby? Where's she gonna go?
Right now I have my mat in my office.
Cute.
But right now I just did an episode with someone where they're like, and I went to his house and he told me I could stay, and the second bedroom was full of junk. I went, oopsie. But so I'm going through what I'm unpacking right now is I am, of course, always practicing. I'm always practicing gratitude in a way where I leave room for myself to complain. Because I'm not Buddha. I'm sorry. Like, there's no way that I'm not going to look at somebody having a bad day and say, it could be worse. I'm not going to do that.
No.
Right? So I want to hold that space for myself too, right? So I'm leaving room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I picture like interior design, right? And there's closet space and there's the bedroom. My bedroom is gratitude, but I open up that closet when I need to like look at what's going on, right? But then I look at myself and I look at my numbers and I'm like, I have not grown in like 6 months and I don't need anything else, but I would like the numbers at this point in my career to reflect the energy that I put into this, right?
Absolutely.
So I know there are people who are beginning, like you guys, editing, podcasting is not fucking easy. Coming up with thoughts every day. There are some times when I'm writing in my journal and I'm like, I have nothing to say. Love you, girl. XOXO.
Yeah,
Tef.
literally.
You know what I mean?
Girl. Yeah.
Like there are some days where I'm just like, like what do I do today? But I really do sit down and I'm like, how can I be better? Like, how can I be of service? How can I also be service to myself? How can I show up for forgiveness? Fuck gratitude for the day. How can I forgive today? Let's talk about the place where I'm not grateful for those experiences, right? And that takes a lot of fucking energy, you know?
Yeah, it does.
And then I look around and I'm like, y esa tipa tiene 10 millones. And that girl has 10 million. And I look and I get into a place where I'm like, she dances. And then I have to go back into that room and I'm like,
yep.
But she's deserving. Who am I to be the scales? You know what I mean? That girl puts herself out there. Have you seen her comment section? Mine is pretty positive. She has to deal with that shit. She's 22 or whatever. I'm making somebody up.
Right.
But like, I have to go back into that place where I'm like giving somebody, grace. But I was talking to my management about it and I have a lot of management trauma. So like I am,
we have some questions that are specific.
Yeah.
But
non-specific questions about how you navigate that.
We'll get
No.
to it.
We'll get,
We got to it.
We're like, keep her
but
on track.
I know we're like derailing the train.
I'm like, squirrel.
No, we're like, we know how a conversation with Tefi goes. Keep her
Yeah,
focused.
I know. Like I was talking to you about my ex, and then I ended up on equestrian riders. Like last time I saw you. I think so I was talking to my manager about it, and I do have a lot of management trauma where I don't want to ever show like vulnerability or weakness, or I don't want somebody to know me like that, just in case, just in case, just in case, just in case.
So fucking not fair, but
It's so not fair, but it's whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't my choice, but
Mm-hmm.
I think so. He told me, he was like, "Hey, I'm going to talk to TikTok about it," and I was like, because there's that moment you're like, "Oh my God," they're like that Latin moment. Oh my God, they're going to think I'm not grateful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody gives you a 97 Corolla on your birthday and you're so grateful, but you go, oh, the battery doesn't work so well, so you're not grateful. Some people don't even have a car. You're like, no, wait.
Like that YouTube video of the little boy that is like, it's an avocado.
Oh my God,
thanks."
exactly.
Like, that is like the expectation for quite. But then, by the way, watch your counterparts, whether they're like American or men or white, whatever it is, like they don't move that way.
No. They go, this is unacceptable. And I said, oh my God, eat the avocado, you know, but like, I relate to that little boy in so many ways, but let's just say it's my third year of getting an avocado.
Right.
So I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, so that moment, that like panic for me was like, no, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. And he said something to me like, but then it won't get fixed.
Closed mouths don't get fed, sister.
But you're worth it.
Shoot or shoot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Literally.
So he called me yesterday and he was like, hey, they said every creator's plateauing, but you are being put in the same ring, like for offers as people who have 10 million, 20 million. And I was like, it feels that way, but I'm upset it doesn't look that way.
Right.
And that's what's fucked up.
Right.
Well, it's not fucked up because that's like the external validation that like we, especially immigrant parents, like we attach success to like the external, like, pero mira esto. Like, look at all the awards that I got. Look at all the things that I got. Like, you might be getting, like, as your friend, I know you're fucking paid. Like, you're paid. I've been to events with you. You kill it. People go up to you like, you're the first famous person I've met. And like, you are like
crazy.
the biggest, but like, but you're a big fucking deal. Like, you're a big fucking deal and you're good at what you do. But I also understand that of wanting to be like, but why is it not like, yeah, my bank account might be stacked and I might be doing all the things that I want to be doing. And I might have just created my first fucking show out of pocket, but like,
literally,
where are the numbers?
Literally.
I understand. I get it.
I thought you were talking about yourself. I thought you were talking about.
Oh, sister, I'm talking about you. I'm like, I'm so amazing.
I mean, sure.
I was like,
same.
literally. No, not about me.
I mean, I'm talking about you.
Honestly,
you might hate that that's how I talked about myself. Oh my God.
Can I air us out a little bit though? We haven't really grown.
Yeah.
We're very, 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 very small. It's very different.
And you have a cult following.
But so do you.
Cult. Yeah.
But so do you. It's that, like, at least for us, I call it small but mighty. Yours is not so small, but like the longevity of a community that fucking cares is so invaluable.
Yeah.
But that's what I was thinking about. What, like, when you were talking to, that's what I was thinking about is like, not to be like, because I know, trust me, you're talking to the one person who like, I love to complain. I love to like be in my dark cloud and be like,
baby.
Yeah, like stomp my feet and be like, boo. Like, I get it. I had this conversation with Chrissy Rutherford, who, if anyone is listening doesn't know who that is,
fucking incredible.
We
follow her,
fucking
stalk
love
her,
Chrissy.
sign up for her newsletter.
Let's go, Chrissy Poo.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yes.
We were having a conversation about longevity and like relevancy. And all I was thinking when you were talking was like, but this is why you're going to outlive everybody else.
Outlive everyone else. Exactly. That's
because you create longevity for yourself.
Exactly.
I said that to Natalie at Gaby's birthday, where I was like, there are some people that like blow up.
It's a flash in the pan.
And or they see it as like a sprint, right? So like, for example, I do think Alex Earl will have longevity, but I'm going to use her an example because she's also someone who exploded really, really fast, right? And she's she's living in Miami,
right?
So I'm going to use her.
Yes.
So if I were her, I would be like, I have to come out with a makeup line now. You know what I mean? Like now. There's no moment for relaxation. You have to strike while the iron is hot, right? But then I'm like, but Natalie, like, you should get into acting. Right. You're 23, 24 years old. Right. You have all the time in the world to be bad at it.
Yes. Totally. Oh, that's such a sweet thing to say. Totally.
The faster you start, the faster you'll get over being shitty at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. You know what I mean? And sometimes I look at videos and I'm like, even ones that I did not that long ago, and I was like, that was a pretty shit video. Nobody's gonna watch this. It has like what? Like shit views, whatever. And I'll go out and I'll be like at fucking the best place in the world, TGI Fridays. Let's fucking go.
Period.
And they'll be like, oh my God, that video made my day. I said, you saw that fucking video. There's a guy who was making YouTube videos and he had 100 views, a YouTube video. And people were like, stop. Like, you should go and venture into other things, whatever. One of those views was Oprah and she gave him a job.
Same thing with Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator found some musician with 4 fucking views and was like, you never know who's watching.
You never know who's watching. That's literally one of my affirmations.
know.
Whenever I like do my affirmations at night, I'm like, the right eyes
At
are
night?
on me. At night,
You never
in the
know who's
morning.
watching? Okay, I was going to say, that's daytime affirmation. That's a daytime affirmation.
That is a daytime affirmation.
Watch me have like a
That's
night terror when I wake up in the middle of the night and they're like, you never know who's watching. There's like 7
never
people
know
in front of my bed.
It's written in lipstick on your fucking mirror. Yeah.
It was me. I sleptwalked.
Can we recap quickly about how we pulled off the surprise of the fucking century? Because no one's ever surprised Gabby the way you and I fucking surprised Gabby.
It hurt everything in my body.
Can I just tell you, I've only been surprised successfully twice, and that was one of them. The first one, I was going on a hinge date in New York.
Oh.
And I was like 22, and he told me that he was taking me to Shakespeare on the Park for like our second date. And I was like, weird flex, but okay. Motherfucker pulls up, Mexicano. We show up to the J Balvin concert.
Oh.
I literally was like,
that
bueno.
is such a fucking well done, sir. Well done.
He did good.
Okay, well,
Hope
I
you're
showed
great.
up with Tefi at your apartment. So,
Yeah.
like, what?
Well, so it's your birthday, and then it's your birthday. I don't know why I said this. Fucking
Marty, like, it's your birthday?
Meadow is like, I see you're here. How long are you gonna be here for? I'm like, 10 days. I don't know anybody.
Which never
Like,
happens,
You know,
by the
I
way.
stick to my 4 people. You know,
Yeah.
like you guys. I count you as a pod. You guys, like fucking
We are a
Natalie
pod.
McMillan, Drew Afwalo, my friend Lauren. Like, there's like
Yeah.
the only people that I see, right? Oh, and Delara, you know, like those are my people in LA. And so I was like, what are you guys doing? And she was like, it's Gabby's birthday thing. Let's make it a surprise. I said, perfect.
No, Tefi goes, I love secrets.
I do love secrets.
That's what she said.
I
She
love
said,
that.
I love secrets. I said, I love secrets too, but I can't keep them. So you're going to
I
hold
know.
this team together.
Well, she
For a
tried
week.
real hard.
I think you
I
brain
kept it from
fucked
you
me.
for a week.
So I was like, I'm a
Yes,
pretty
I-
bad liar too. Like if
And especially when I talk to this bitch all day long every day. How am I supposed to keep that from her? And it's
Yeah,
a big
literally.
surprise.
And I said, perfect. She goes, okay, perfect. I'll pick you up and we can run errands together. I said, amazing. And then Gabby the next day goes, hey girl, see you in LA. Would you want to, and she's not asking me to hang out. She goes, do you want to spend my birthday with me where I'm having people over? I look at it and I go, I can't answer because I'm going to say
She literally
like,
screenshot sends to me. What do I do? She's
I
like,
do?
what do I say?
Are you kidding me? And I remember like typing out like, yeah, that'd be rad. I'm like, delete it. They're gonna she's gonna think you were.
Who are you,
Oh,
me?
that'd be
who said that?
sickening. Gabby would be like, MJ,
Like, are
I'm
you
friends with
okay?
your daughter. I think she's in
She's like,
trouble.
blink
literally.
twice. Blink twice.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally blink twice. We're tracking her phone.
So I just leave it sitting for the worst 3 days of my life. Like I'd be like,
I don't think anything of it because you get busy and sometimes you don't answer for 3 days.
Yeah.
So I don't expect
but-
anything.
But then I DM
Meanwhile,
you on
she's
Instagram,
tormenting
and I'm
herself.
like,
Yeah.
True. I didn't even reply to any of your stories. Nothing. I was like, I would see it and I'd be like, oh my God. Like I
I
remember
can't talk to her.
I'd be in a meeting and I'd look at my phone and I'd scroll to find like a screenshot of something and I'd see her text. I'm like I couldn't. And then finally I like had like a wine and I texted her and I said, oh my God, yeah, I think I have something. And I looked at myself and I said, on Sunday at 2 p.m., you might have something.
I didn't think anything about it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I do sometimes if I'm traveling for work, I might have something at 2 p.m. on Sunday.
Right.
I might.
Right.
But it has to be something where I'm
It's
like,
plausible. It's totally
it's plausible.
Yeah.
But I was looking at it. I was like, she sees right through you. Oh my God. Like Meadow picks me up. I was waiting by the door like this. I couldn't. I was texting my mom and I was like, I feel horrible. My friend thinks she's like an option. I feel so bad. Oh my God. My mom's like, you'll be fine. Okay, Scorpio.
Yeah. Your mom's like,
I
shut
know
up.
I will survive it. Thank you.
And there's people dying. Like that's what your mom
Yeah.
was saying.
When I got when I got into your house, I like slithered in like Randall in the Monsters Inc. I was like, oh my God, I've been waiting to talk to you.
That was
Can you
so
imagine? I didn't even post like a happy birthday Instagram
No, it was
story.
great.
I was like radio silence.
It was so perfect. It was
So
Okay,
so
but then we
perfect.
also like you made everyone at that party laugh till they cried. Trying to bring her the cake?
Making Gabby lift the couch like a mom with her child under. No, she
Oh.
wasn't lifting the
No,
couch.
I was mortified. I texted
No,
you
she
the
was
next
like, "Get
day. I
out
said, I
from under that
can't
fucking
believe.
couch." Yeah.
I literally texted them the next day and I said, you saw under my couch,
I did. It's a different world.
bro.
But if you saw my office,
Also,
secrets are in there.
pendejas, this is how you know that we're friends, because do you know what I saw the next day? And I was like, these bitches didn't even pull a fucking like paper towel that's probably been stuck under my couch for the last fucking 3 years that I've lived in this apartment. And you fuckers lift it, see that paper
She
towel
was
and just leave it there.
busy
saw it
getting her
peeking out.
baby.
I saw it
we were
peeking
so
out.
delirious for that vape.
Yeah.
We were screaming, "Mommy loves you" at the
Yeah.
Mommy loves you.
couch. We were delirious.
Use your mommy adrenaline to lift the couch.
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
we were
wait.
delirious.
I'm going to reel us in for a second because I have a question.
Okay.
Oh,
Tell
sure.
me. You wrote it down? Okay.
We wrote down a couple. We came prepared. We are professionals. First of all, how dare you? We're
How
very
dare you?
professional.
No, it's because, you
How dare
know,
you?
with me, it's like herding cats, and I appreciate the preparation.
No, quite.
Hurting butterflies.
Quite
Yeah.
literally. We were talking before about, I don't even remember what, but the question is about adaptability. You
Okay.
are very good at adapting. Like, I would love to like send out your resume as a newsletter just so people could see what
The
that
9
looks
lives
like.
that she's lived. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's a really good reminder for everybody that, and but particularly young people, you can pivot at any time in your life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But my
You
cue
can.
around this is, do you have, we call them like pings because we love to be magnetic, like pings or like tests that the universe send you that are like little like
Little, like-
intuition taps of like, when is it time to pivot? Whether it's like a friendship, relationship, work, just like in life.
Mm. I see myself as everything that I do is a being of some sort or adapts to my personality in some sort. And I kind of imagine like a job as a friend group or something, or like a job as an energy. So like if I'm in this place and I keep trying to make this work, like any relationship or like any energy, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and it's not working, that's what it is. It's like, this is not working. And it's different factors. It could be the management, it could be pay, it could be people taking advantage of your time, you know, like watching
Yeah.
people go on summer Fridays and you have to stay behind for a package for a person that you don't even work under. Like there are certain things where I'm just like, my energy is not meeting the reward of it. And I will say in social media, that is more understandable because in an office, you maybe have 50 people trying to grow. On the internet, you have what, 3 billion?
Yeah.
So it's like you understand the odds better, or like you understand community better, you know? But for me,
It's
I
not
would
as
look at a
isolating.
job. Yeah. And a lot of my jobs were based on people, you know? I've never been like a skill hire. I've been a personality
Just
hire.
personality hire.
Yes.
But that
whole
is a skill.
time. But I got to the point where I was like, they know that I rather them like me than be good at my job, and it's time to go. And that's when it's that feeling of being taken advantage of, or the feeling of, well, you know, when a friend group doesn't fuck with you.
Oh yeah.
It's like that. It's like it feels like that at a job where the energy is just like, I want to go where I'm wanted, not where I'm tolerated. And
Yeah.
but money, I've never had a job where I hate it and they're paying me well. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I was very much somebody who
Same.
I've always been paycheck to paycheck. I would have to decide between like, I would be like, if I drink at happy hour, maybe I'll be full enough so I don't have to like worry about food later. This is at like 27. Food later, or I'll be with a group, so maybe they can Venmo request me and I can let it sit for like a week, and that won't be like
Yeah.
too rude. You know what I mean? Like that's like how I lived. So I never had an opportunity where I was like, oh, but the money's so good. It was always like, not only am I getting paid like shit, but it's eating at my spirit. And then if I lose my spirit, I'm a nothing higher.
Yeah, but what happens, because now you've moved into a space where the money is good and you turn down opportunity. I'm sure that there's been a big opportunity with a check presented to you that didn't feel aligned, and you were like, I'm good. And I'm sure that really felt fucking good, even though it might have been a hard decision.
Yeah. I think when you are starting, and I still consider myself pretty I mean, I've been doing it since late 2019, since October
That's still
2019.
new. That's
That
new
is
on
still
the scene
new.
still. Yeah.
So I feel like for me, I believe in abundance, right? I believe it's coming towards me, and I believe that I'm talented. Okay. However, I am also a person that lives within capitalism, and I understand that perhaps I have a shopping issue. Like, even if I was on Shein during the pandemic, I was still shopping, oopsie daisies. Thank you, Joe Biden. But I think for me, it's like, I'm now at the point where I don't have to work like I did. I don't think people even understand,
No, they don't.
like,
No.
the animalistic nature that I was working at. Like, it was not okay. And that was not my fault. It was my management's issue, whatever. But I was also in a, what's the opposite of abundance?
Lack.
I was in that kind of
Lack
space
mindset.
where I was
mentality,
like
yeah.
holding on to straws,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because there were other parts of my life, like my romantic life,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't amazing, and I was seeing my friends less and less. That I was like, I have to be good at this. Then I can't just
Yeah.
be flailing at everything. But now I'm at a position where, okay, I can take less jobs now. My team wants me to take like one big job a month. I'm like 4, 5. Like I always want to stay busy, but I want to be in the room with certain people. So if a certain brand reaches out to me, I'm like, I would have, you're too late. I would have done it a year ago.
Totally.
But not only do I not have to now, but also I want to be in the room with other people. And now I'm in a position where it would be going backwards, and I don't want to do that.
How did you define, like, because what this sounds like and what we talk a lot about in the podcast is like making sure that you have your why kind of very clear, and that
I don't
making
think I
sure
have
that,
it yet.
okay. But
I
you
think
obviously,
I'm,
when something feels
yeah.
aligned for you and when it doesn't, you know yourself enough to know, like, this feel good, this feel,
Mhm.
or even what you just said, like, I would have taken it a year ago, but right now I'm trying to be in a room with a specific people, and like, this is going to take away from my time from doing that.
I think my why is to be of service. Like, I do feel of service to people. I'm not at the position yet where I can do the things or like open the things that I want to do yet. So right now it still feels like a lot of tap and dance sometimes. Like, you want to tell somebody like, trust me with it, and they're like, I don't. It's like dating. When you get
Yeah.
to know a brand, it's like dating. So I guess my why for right now is I'm working really, really hard to be so disconnected that my why isn't that people like me, because
Yeah.
I'd rather shit out a knife.
Yeah.
Sorry,
My
but
favorite phrase that you say.
No,
It's the first
literally.
thing you said on our phone call when I first met you in 2019 or 2020. And I was like, yeah, we're going to be friends.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've changed it to pine cone recently. I think that's
You
better.
did.
Oh, that's
It's
cute.
PG. It's PG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
PG,
think
it's PG.
camping, you think bear, shit out a knife, you think
Yeah.
saw, you
Yeah.
think 7. You know?
I feel like that's another thing with you where, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like your why would have to always be very big picture because you are so multifaceted
Yeah.
and you so want to express yourself in so many different ways. I know we've talked about this too. Like, it almost feels like a why could feel like it's pigeonholing you unless it's that very philosophical big picture
Yeah.
why.
But I think that's
Yeah.
what it, like, that's what I meant, at least when I was talking, when I was like thinking
Right.
about what it would mean for you, because like I'm staring at my freaking like mind map that I have in the corner, and it's like
Yeah.
that middle why is broad. It
Yeah,
is
it has to
philosophical.
be.
It is
Yeah,
up
yeah, yeah.
here. But then when you branch it off, it's
It makes
endless
sense
possibilities. It's
for
endless
everything that you're
possibilities, but
doing.
it makes
Yeah.
sense and it
It's
all
the through line.
connects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't want to be. Do you guys love Harry Potter? No?
I
I
mean,
do, and
I
Gabby does
like
it.
it.
Gabby makes fun of me because I love it.
Listen, I like Harry Potter. I've never read the books, but I'll watch the movies
Listen, I
happily.
read all
I
the
read
books
the-
when my dad was in the hospital. They're very meaningful to
I
me.
know.
I'm not bringing up the sit.
Oh, you
She
want
was
to talk
just-
about my dead dad?
No,
Oh my
no,
God.
no.
Any
But you do all the
excuse?
time.
Did you know my
Yeah, I
dad is
remember-
dead?
I looked at Meadow. She goes, Father's Day's coming up. Everybody else can celebrate. I was like,
Do you remember when I said to you about my fucking brother? At
Yeah,
Gabby's
we're not
birthday?
saying it on here, but
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
We're
not
not saying it on
saying
here.
it.
And
We're not
another
saying
friend
it.
was mortified, and Gabby just
Yes.
burst out laughing because you get
I
my
said-
humor. Yeah.
I said, "Oh my God, are we okay?" You go, "Yeah, I'm fine, whatever." I was like, "Okay."
Go back to the Harry Potter reference.
The Harry Potter, I never wanna be Robert Pattinson's character, the one that's, like, the best at
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wanna
Yeah.
be Dumbledore, and that's
Yeah.
hard.
Mm,
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and they're both celebrated, and one is very popular, but the other one is, um, of someone who is, like, respected
Mhm.
and
But also
but
very disagreed with by a
very
lot of
disagreed with,
people.
and but also someone who a lot of life has happened to them, and
Exactly.
sometimes that scares me, where I'm like, one person just, like, won a sports game, and they
Mhm.
are beloved without
Mhm.
ever having to know what they think about anything, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
Mm,
And then the other person is, you know exactly where they stand. You know
Mhm.
exactly what they think.
mhm.
You know exactly what they would do in a situation.
And that can be polarizing, but it's
Exactly.
But
also
that
so fucking liberating for
it's
people.
liberating, it's inspiring, and you're keeping the idea of, like, thought makers and change makers. Like, that is what we want, and I feel like that
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
lost right now, and, like, I have a lot of fear around that because that's a category I wanna be put in, but I have fear around it because I'm like, ask Meadow how many frantic texts I send her in the middle of the night of like, "Oh my god, do we need to edit it out of the podcast?" Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I did that with
'cause I'm
Yeah.
the
panicked
YouTube thing
because
I'm
people
doing.
get mad
Yeah.
at
Right.
us, like,
Right.
people,
About
like,
what?
Oh, I wanna talk to you. I wanna ask you about one
just,
of
like,
those.
little
Oh, you had
Yeah.
things.
one controversial thing that blew up, right?
Oh, yeah, about me fucking and I stand by it,
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever. About my parents fleeing Cuba, whatever. Neither here nor
Yeah.
there. But, like,
People don't know. People don't
no,
get it.
people
Right,
don't know.
right,
People
right.
They
but
don't know.
again, we grew up in a bubble in Miami where, like, we learned about the Cuban
Gabby, I didn't
experience
know I
because
was
there was a
white.
Cuban experience.
I didn't know I
Right.
was white till I got to New York. I was like, I'm not white, I'm Latin. They're like, and I said, do I need to Google this? How embarrassing.
Yeah. 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 But no, people, especially when you're, like, in an industry where you're, like, bearing your
Your
soul. Like, you're
soul?
literally
Yeah.
doing these, like, dumps now on Sundays where you're, like,
Which are my
bearing your
favorite
freaking
thing you've
journal.
ever done in
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
thank
like,
yous.
I
it's
love it.
scary when, like, somebody like, I just started posting on YouTube again.
Mhm.
Bro, I'm, like, clearly in a moment where I'm so hyper fixated on work that,
Mhm.
like, I know I look like a paranoid freak, and I know that I'm, like, obsessive, and I know this and this and this, and I'm, like, letting it show on YouTube, and I got a DM
Oh,
from
yeah.
some girl and she meant well, and I don't mean to be an asshole, but she's like, "You need a hobby." And I'm like, "I know,
Mm,
bitch. I know."
bro,
Like, I
did you look at
know.
that girl's Instagram?
She's private.
Private.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
And look, I'm
Mhm.
sure
Oh,
the thing is
nice.
the message was nice, like, it wasn't rude. I didn't
No,
respond, but it's
but
just
it
like
stuck with you
but it
because
stuck with me because I'm like, I'm bearing my soul about something, and clearly I know, like, all I do is talk to my coach about how I need to, like, live in joy right now. Like, I'm aware that I'm, like, staring at my computer all day. Like, I got it. Thank you so much. Verge of a mental breakdown. Like, you don't gotta tell me I need a hobby. Like, I know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like,
no, I
I'm
think
the first one
like
there.
one girl a long time ago, a girl told me, not a long time ago, like recently.
A week ago.
Yeah, I think like a month ago, somebody was like, "You're so exhausting." That is my biggest insecurity. Because I have, when you meet me that I'm just like, blah, 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 and I love it. I love
Yeah.
that.
That's why we love
I,
It's a
you.
great quality.
Yeah.
well, I meet everybody like they're my new friend.
Yeah,
You
you
know what I
do.
mean? Like I meet everybody and I'm like, just in case we tell people how we first met as
Yeah.
friends. I want it to be good. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm.
literally think
You're
about
such a
that stuff.
well-intentioned human being.
I really try. And like, so when somebody says, "Oh, you're so exhausting," it's like being a kid again. And someone
Yeah.
saying, "Shut up.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you're so negative." Like that. I'm sure you've
Mhm.
heard that. You're
Mhm.
so negative. Or like, can you chill out? You're like, ugh. Like that's that thing
Mhm.
that like
Yeah.
people don't realize that they're like, well, so she gets a lot of comments or she doesn't even know me. Who cares? Or like, she works in mental health. So like, or she advocates for mental health. So like, I can be honest with her. She appreciates real shit. You don't, you don't know me to be talking to me like that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
bitch.
Mhm.
If somebody said, get a hobby, I said, okay, I'll fuck your dad. What now? That's
No,
my
literally.
hobby.
It
Breaking up
really
Literally.
your
does.
family.
Like thinking, I don't know, it's so interesting, right? Because like even the whole point of just fuck your dad.
I've never
The
fucked a dad before. Just gotta say,
have you not? Hmm.
I haven't fucked a father.
Could be
A
fun.
father.
Me
Mm-mm.
racking my brain. I'm
Like
like, "Have
could be
I?"
fun. Have I? Could be fun.
No one's sad. Yeah.
It's interesting though, because I feel like especially people like both of us, considering us a pod, both of us, like the through line is making people feel seen. Show, like you said, when you meet everyone, you show up as yourself to no
Mhm.
matter who you're meeting. Could be the fucking girls in Baskin Robbins as we're picking up a cake. Could be, someone with 10 million, right?
So it's like that interesting dichotomy if we're trying to show up and make people feel seen and lead with this vulnerability. And I feel like I'm hella fucking vulnerable on the internet. And I also feel like anyone that's reading that knows not a goddamn thing about me. I am trying to create this space that allow people to like see me and feel seen, but at the same time, no one ever knows who I am. And like, how do you even think that you do? Like it's wild. I don't know, parasocial relationships.
Parasocial relationships are tricky because you're standing up for something that you have a lack of knowledge about, a person. Or like, I am sure if my sister came on here and talked about our fights in high school, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
she was so fucking annoying though. Jesus. You wore my Backstreet Boys t-shirt to the gym.
The gym.
Are you out of your fucking
She's sweating
mind?
it? Stop
or like
it.
my Juicy Couture, like
No.
like vintage. Well, I was already in high school. What you know what I mean? Like my Juicy Couture, like
Was
a
it
Juicy
not?
Girl tank top.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Stop
go
it.
clean your bike in it? Are you out of your fucking mind? But yeah, I'm sure I'd be like, you're such a fucking bitch. Fuck you. I fucking hate you. Like, of course. But like even today, Davis was like, would you date anybody famous? And I said, how famous?
Yeah.
They're like, famous, like it would change your fucking life. Like the idea of being seen and risking everybody finding out what you said to your little sister in 2006.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever. Or like getting into the worst fight with your mom. You know what I mean? Like that yearly fight that you have, you're just I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean?
I know. I have the worst fight I ever got in with my mom in my head.
I have it once a
threw a
year. I
plate.
just had mine when I was moving.
I picked up a plate and I smashed it on the ground. I've had to I talked about it in therapy a lot.
Oh, how old are you?
I was in college, 19.
Okay. Well, this one was 2
Rough
weeks
years.
ago for me.
Did you throw a plate?
No, I threw a box that I knew was full of like sweaters.
Yeah, exactly.
It said like closet. I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Thank
it's
God.
But there are things that like, of course, like people found out, but like if I dated somebody famous, it would have to be a love I've never known. And 2, I would have to Selena Gomez it, where it's like, I don't have Wi-Fi in the house.
Yeah.
I don't have access to my social media.
Right.
If I do, I'm on live, comments are off.
Right.
Like right now, I don't search my fucking name. Are you crazy? I want to have a good day.
I've had that conversation with friends that like do that like will search their name or like search like on Reddit. And I'm like, you need to.
We had that conversation at your birthday.
I know, but we won't say names. But like, I'm like, you need to literally like do something, have a freaking coder, like, or like those like parental locks on shit. Like that's what you need to do. But I have a cue, because you are such a well-intentioned human being, but you're also a very good business person. Like, do you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times people see like well-intentioned women, Latina women, it's like pushover, or like we're on either side of the spectrum. It's like we're a woman, so we're a pushover and are morons and have no idea, or we're like a fucking bitch. And like there's usually no space for the in-between, right? I wonder though, like how you've been able to navigate
being kind in business,
giving people the benefit of the doubt, whether it's people on your team or jobs or whatever, people that want to work with you and collaborate with you, but then you start to see people take advantage. And like, when does that switch flip for you? Like, does it? Like, have you been able to? Do you now move different?
Yeah.
The bigger you get.
Yeah.
Yes and no. You're more sheltered in a way where you're like, I have a publicist and her assistant and the LA assistant, and then I have a manager and his assistant, and then I have my fashion agent and their 2 assistants, and then another fashion agent and their assistants, and then I also have an unscripted and her assistant, and then I have the scripted, and then I have my podcast, and then I have digital, and then I have and then
you have an assistant.
And I have an assistant. Now when it comes to like business, I'm like, am I mad at the assistant to this PR company, or am I mad at the brand? Like you still have to like when people are mad at a brand, like for example, like Balenciaga or something. Like I've never worked with Balenciaga, but I would never bitch out the person from Balenciaga DMing me on their Instagram.
Right. Because that's not the person that's responsible for anything you're upset about. Exactly.
So I understand now how greedy companies are, but I also will recognize that like it's like an MLM almost. It's like the top 3%, and then the rest of the people are just Like, I'm not going to flick off the guy who's at the Amsterdam
messenger.
airport and Balenciaga store or like at Merrick Park or whatever.
Exactly.
I'm going to be like, fuck you, you know, but I'm going to be like,
Right.
that's a really shitty situation. You should leave. That does not reflect like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
you, whatever, et cetera. Or like for your peace of mind, you should
Totally.
leave. But so I think business wise, it's no, I'm going to make up a brand. No, it's Citrus Co. can afford to get me a car.
Mhm.
But Anna, I'm so sorry to bother you about this, but I really need this. Like, you know,
Mhm.
does it make
Mhm.
sense? It's like
Yeah.
with Red Bull when I was there for F1, like they would send me an Uber and I would miss it and I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I've missed 2 Ubers because I'm just running all the time. I'm running around. I'm gonna call my own Uber. I understand that's my bad. You know what I mean? I would
Mhm.
never be
Mhm.
like, send it again. But if
Right.
they're
Mhm.
like, oh, you have to pay for dinner, I'd be like, but I'm here because of you. Like there's
Right.
something
Right.
You
I
have
try.
healthy entitlement.
Yeah, you have to be. It's a groundedness and
Mhm.
an idea of. I never want to forget that I'm like that. I'm not talking to just a brand. Like I'm not. If I was working with Kool-Aid, I wouldn't be talking to the jug.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
I'm talking to a person.
Right.
And when it comes to, and I think that's what I want to continue doing is like, I want to make sure that the people that I'm talking to never feel the way that I feel. Even if they're taking advantage of me, I don't want them to feel taken advantage of.
Mm.
It's like
You know what I mean?
balancing self-worth and graciousness almost, it sounds like.
I never want someone to walk away from a situation and not think I didn't do my best or
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Right.
or that I meant harm or that I didn't
Right.
care. If I
Mhm.
fuck up, like let's say I post something for a brand, an ad, and I forget an ad and then I turn off, then I leave my phone, I go into the ocean or whatever, and I come back and have a million calls. I'm not going to say, hi, I'm not in my office right now and I'll do this or I'll just delete it. I want to call and say like, okay, I'll take it down. Can you send me the exact copy? It's about working together. Like that's it. Like
Exactly.
it's,
Exactly.
I really take collaboration seriously. And also if there's ever a time where like, what if Gabby has a kid and they want an internship? You know what I mean? I want to have an office that they can go to. I want to grow. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You know, like I want to be able to say like, hey, no, when you're an intern with me, like you don't pay for lunch. I want to grow. And the only way to do that is like to play ball. Like when you asked me about the managers thing,
Mhm.
I'm like, and we're like, oh, how do you deal with that? What's the alternative?
Right.
That I don't have a manager?
Choose the fucking or, bitch. That's my fucking motto.
Yeah.
That's my
What's the
thing.
alternative? That I stay paranoid
What's the
and
alternative?
I get less work, I do less cool shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's it. Like there are some things where it's like when people ask me like, oh, how do I get over the breakup? What's the alternative?
Mhm.
Literally.
You
That has been
gotta.
my entire motto for life,
It
resiliency.
sucks. It sucks
Yeah.
so fucking bad.
Isn't that
like,
what your
And you
mom said
gotta
about
make
you?
space to honor the suck. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like honor how shitty it is and make that space. Look in the closet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then close the doors and come back out. Because what else
Yeah.
are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Okay, wait, I want to circle back to something though,
Uh-huh.
because
Does that make
you
sense?
said yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Am I landing the plane?
You're landing the fucking plane, baby.
You'll
Your
edit it. You'll make
favorite
it sound
pilot.
good.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No,
You
you
said
got
something on
this.
Trash Tuesday that was
Uh-huh.
coincidentally another thing that we got Baby in trouble for once, and I think that's kind of interesting.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said that you lie to your therapist, and we've gotten, or I think it was me, frankly, I got in trouble for being like, if you lie to your therapist, it's a waste of your fucking money and resources, quite frankly.
Oh, what perfect people.
And I understand not everyone can, and maybe you're not ready. And but like all of those things could be true. And I'm not saying I haven't lied to a therapist as well. But I would like you to elaborate your thoughts and feelings on that because we got in trouble for that.
It's treatment. It's treatment. If I have trust issues and I meet a new person that I talk to once a week, I may not tell them the truth for like a year because I have trust
Absolutely.
issues.
Mhm.
I'm so glad that you're able to be so honest with your therapist. Would
Yeah.
you allow me to get through my
Get
shit,
through your
please?
shit. Get through your shit.
Like, or like a therapist also, like being in therapy is like dating, if not worse. If not, it's like
It's crazy.
do you have to sit down and be like, can you help me through the worst things that have ever happened to me? Because sometimes, I'm just going to give an example. When I was a kid and I had this on and off relationship with this guy, and my therapist would like champion me, and I would fall back into it, I would be embarrassed to tell her.
Mhm.
And then I would tell her later on when it was like bad again, of course, like the cycle's back. You know what I mean? and tell her, and she'd be like, that's okay.
Mhm.
Right.
It's me that makes it worse. It's not about the therapist or like wasted
Mhm.
space. If I'm not ready to touch it, why would I bring it up? If anything, it's like when you work out too hard the first time you work out and you're too sore to like,
Yeah.
adequate work is better than inconsistent work. My friend Delara says that all the time. She'd rather walk for 30 minutes a day than run a marathon once a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so for when people talk about their progress in therapy, you're showing up.
But that's like a hard skill because like, okay, so when we said that, I don't know, this was a while ago that we both were like, yeah, like if you are lying to your therapist, whatever, it's a waste, which neither of us agree with anymore. Like that's also the part of this show is like, we say a lot of shit
Because you're people.
because we're people. When you say, I'm going to keep that phrase, my brain of like, adequate work is better than like inconsistent work. That's
Delara's a
something that
genius.
like for
Delara's a
people that
genius.
have like perfectionism or like obsessive whatever, and like that's how I am, where I go into full paralysis because I don't want to produce adequate work
Because it's
like
not going
that.
to be perfect.
But so
It's
that
not gonna be
but
good
then I
enough.
don't do anything.
Right.
And then I
Because
sit on my hands and then I have a panic attack. And I'm like, oh, I didn't do
People
anything.
can't reject what you tried to do if you never tried to do it.
For
Exactly.
someone who is in the therapy seat, I try to tell myself my purpose is not productivity.
Mm.
And then when I'm on the other side, when I'm giving my friend advice, I think, do I love the person or do I love the process?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
gotta love this person.
Mhm.
But as a
Like-
provider, you can't love the person because then you cannot do your best work to
Well,
help
you love
them if you love
people.
them.
You're in it for
You
people.
love people. You love humanity.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like the idea of getting, I'm the idea of that is like a reason I could never do that. I could never do that.
Oh, it's part of the
Like a
reason I had to
teacher?
leave. Yeah.
No, I could.
I
Or
don't-
like
When
mhm.
Aaron comes home, the shit that he's gone through this week alone, I'm like, I just don't I don't understand.
I don't understand how veterinarians do it.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So when I look at my friends, you know how many times my friends have looked at me and been like, how many times are you going to keep making the same mistake? And I'm like,
Till I learn the lesson.
till you learn the lesson. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
know that I'm doing my best.
Dude, I found these texts in my phone the other day that I was talking about it with my friend from home because I was like, I can't believe I found these texts. I don't know what the fuck I searched
what?
in my phone that like brought it up, but it was like an old friend and I was going through, round 501 of like getting back together with like my psychotic ex-boyfriend, the Miami one. I was
Mhm.
like, I just moved to New York and I
Oh, I
just
know
done
the text.
Hoffman like
Yeah.
too. So everyone expects me to be like, I'm fucking
Mhm.
healed. And I'm like back with this man.
You're enlightened now.
And the text that I found, Estefania, it was like, I can't even bear to be around you because you're so fucking boring. You're such a
friend.
shell of a human being. Like, you're just Mrs. like the guy's last name. Like, I'm just watching you do that. Like, it's disgusting. Like, you're such an embarrassment. And I'm like, I'm being emotionally abused every single day of my life. And I'm a shell of a human being because he's controlling everything I do. And I'm like, like all these things, but it's like, you're a boring bitch. And I was like, oh.
You know what makes me sad? I whenever somebody says that shit to me, because they have,
Yeah.
I say, who talks to you that way that you think it's okay to say that shit to me?
What I'm saying,
Right,
people talk
right,
in the most out of pocket
right.
way, and I'm like, who said that you can talk to another human being like that?
That's the
No.
Let
saddest
alone
part. It's
somebody
their
that you
fucking
like care
parents.
about.
It's
Or-
that's why it's always the people that have loved them the most that have said that to them, and now they think they can do it, and that is the most heartbreaking fucking part. Which is why, what do I do when I think of the people that have wronged me the most in the past year?
You send them
I
love.
send them love and light. I don't give a
Oh,
fuck.
it's my
I
last
send you love and light.
prayer.
So
Mhm.
yeah,
I
my
pray-
ho'oponopono.
I tell people, if you ever start losing your hair or get diarrhea every day, know that I prayed over a candle for it. But
Yeah.
when I say my prayers at night, I do say, and God bless the people who don't wish me well. Like, God bless
Totally.
you.
Totally.
But
Mhm.
when it comes to boundaries with people, I have noticed, like, for example, an ex-boyfriend that we were at his guy friend's house. It was a bunch of dudes and like three other girlfriends or whatever. And my ex farted in front of them. And I looked at him and I was like, your friends are now going to think that they can fart around me. No. What happened? Their friends are like, she's cool with it. Who the fuck said that? So then when I've noticed when I was younger, when in your situation, Gabby is like, you showed those friends, you didn't know them, you didn't know that they were going to take it that way. Instead of saying that is just, they saw that the kind of communication you're willing to take.
Mhm.
They literally saw your barometer
It's true.
and how
Yeah.
far you could stretch.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like, and then they could say, Don't be mad at me. I'm not the one you're mad at.
I'm just pointing it out.
I never asked for tough love. You're not my mom.
Right.
Tough love for me is if you're going to fail science, you can't go to the party. Not this is disgusting. I'm ashamed. I'm so embarrassed for you.
Yeah.
Nobody in my life, my dance coach, tough love. You were late for practice. You can't perform.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
This isn't teaching me any skills other than that, not to fucking talk to you.
No,
That's a
quite
skill
literally.
I'm learning here.
Yeah.
So go fuck yourself.
But also
Yeah.
to honor that growth, like that wasn't even that fucking long ago, Gabby. And look at your friendships now.
I mean, that was what? That was in 2018.
That was 2 months ago.
2018.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's 2 months ago. Yeah. What
It's
do you
a
mean?
blink and a jump.
It's a blip of life, like a blip.
Tefi, Meadow and I were talking about it before we started recording. Your family gives the best fucking advice.
Losers.
Losers.
And they never even fucking need it. My mom's single. My brother's with the love of his life. My sister's getting married to her first love. I'm like, you guys are just spitting facts that you guys have never even needed.
My jaw dropped to the ground when you were like, I've never heard my mom or two Latina women. I've never heard my mom or my grandma talk badly about their bodies.
That is huge.
I couldn't.
Never.
Like, bro, the little squeeze that you get when you come home and you're like, I'm mija, and you get the little love squeeze where you're like your chichos are like a little bigger than last time. No, I couldn't believe my ears.
Every time I'm sick, my mom goes, weight loss technique to this day, this week, every single time. And I'm just like,
sick. No, recently I am very out of shape. Well, it's like I'm used to being a little bit more athletic. Okay. I miss my walks on the treadmill. I like where my gym is and it overlooks the water and I like it. So, but I haven't been doing it. And I can see also when I'm traveling a lot, you eat like shit, you know? I told my mom the other day, yo soy horrible, estoy tan fea. You know what my mom says? You know what to do to make yourself feel better, so do it. And she means eat better and go for your fucking walks. And that's what she means. My mom would be like, 4 times a week, do it. 4 times a week, go for it. And if you don't, enjoy your trip. But it was never
live your life. Yeah.
My mom has never in her life talked about cellulite. My mom has never, ever about exercise. It's always been about like, I want to be able to walk when I'm an old lady. My mom has never dieted, ever. And it's not because she hasn't fluctuated. She's a normal woman. You know what I mean? Like the word average, I hate, but she's not somebody who's just like, I can eat whatever I want. And I can never. And so for me, talking to her about like my cellulite, and she's like, ¿Qué importa? I'm like, you're so fucking free, dude.
But that's
that's such a beautiful example.
That's such a rarity as a woman in general. And then just also like Latin women. I hear you when you talk about like your ED and all that, where you're like, it's not even your fault, mom. Like it's not coming from you. It's just like, look at the circumstance that we grew up in and were around.
My grandfather was incredible. He told both his girls every day, estás divina. Divina. Like it was the relationship. Her male gaze did not matter because she had male adoration from one man at home. Adoration. And
just give me
it was incredible. Like she was like, she never had to question if she was smart, if she was funny, or like my grandma was the life of the party, and they had the same friends in Colombia from kindergarten, from the day that she left into she was already in her third year of law school, and then she left to the United States in 1986. She still has the same exact friends. It's the same fucking friend group.
So cute.
So it's not like they've never fought, but it was an idea of like pretty. Yo soy divina.
Yeah.
And it's like my grandfather, my nickname in my house was Miss Universo.
What does that mean?
Call me Miss Universe.
Miss Universe.
Miss Universe.
But I love that it wasn't like gorda or flaca or like whatever, all the cute, choosy little nicknames that we had, but it's that. It's
when you're really skinny, they call you like gorda in my family.
Yeah.
Or like the most beautiful girl, whatever, they call her fea. La fea.
Yeah.
And
it's like they call you the opposite too.
That was my nickname. So when people ask me like, is it your mom? Is it your family? I'm like, my family nickname was Miss Universo. No.
Yeah.
It was looking, for some reason, Laura was never, my sister, never needed to be like the pretty girl. She played sports. She loved dirt bikes. Yes, she's a lesbian. But listen, she's, but at the time when you're young, she plays soccer with your dad. Like she was a
cool bitch.
It's beyond sexuality because no kid, like I'm not going to put a sexuality on a kid. She was a tomboy. She was a tomboy. So, and for me, I loved getting those life-size Barbies so you can wear the slippers. You know
Stop
what I
it.
mean?
Of
So like I
course.
love, so they knew, my dad knew that I wanted to be pretty and he used it because I mean, I look just like my mom. I'm sure it did something psychologically, but like, so my dad, I remember every time I'd go out, like to Sunset Place, I would dress up and blow dry my hair in case I ran into my dad. I never did, but I always carry that with me. Like if I went to the supermarket and he saw me with my hair unbrushed, it was grounding total. I remember when I was 14, he came up to me and he goes, "You have cellulite, you know that?" I was 14. He was the first person ever told me I had cellulite. I had to Google it.
Wow.
I had to look it up on my razor.
Oh,
Like and it was like $30, I'm sure.
yeah.
But like the idea, so when people are like, your mom, I'm like, the men in their life, and my grandma and my aunt and my mother's life was born on this earth to be a father, a provider, like born. It came rolled off because he had a terrible childhood, terrible. And he was just like this person that was just, I thought it was normal for men to weep because at every hug, weeping. And then when I got older, I got annoyed. I said, "What do you know that I don't know? Is my plane going down? Like, tell me. Can you smell cancer on me? Like, what are you weeping about?"
Yeah.
You know, like so. Or I give him a Father's Day card, and he'd be like crying. I'm like, "Are you dying?" Like, I'm like, I used to get annoyed. Or like in my high school graduation, I was a speaker, and he's weeping. And I went afterwards. I went, "Abuelito, they probably think I beat the odds. They probably think that I'm like." You know, reading level, fifth
I
grade,
love him.
weeping,
Yeah.
you know? So now I only date extremely emotional men. And you know what's happened? Instead of going for sensitive, I get emotionally reactive. There are things that are just like,
Tefi, the entire time you were talking about your mom and her father, like I was like, I exactly had that too. And because we all know my dad is dead, the thing that I worked through,
She
I
brings
have
it back.
to. I
She
have to.
always
It's my
brings it back.
favorite joke. I have
I
to.
know, it's good.
It's my favorite. It's my only, you know
It's
what
a
I mean?
good one.
I get to do it, so I have to.
It's your bit.
It's my bit. It's my bit. I got a dead brother. Do you want me to talk about that? Okay, anyway.
Oh no,
So my
we're
dad
good with
dies,
that.
and it's because my internalization of it was it's similar to what we were talking about at the beginning of the gratitude. Like, how fucking lucky am I that that was my father and that was my experience? That was my one great love at life. You'll never get it again. Don't be greedy.
I know.
Don't be greedy. You don't need to find that in men. So I dated worse and worse and worse men till I hit abusive. And then I went, actually, my dad showed me exactly how I deserve to be loved. And then I flipped the switch and I found that again.
Everybody says that you marry your father. My dad is completely different from my grandfather.
Yeah.
My dad was allergic to responsibility. He could not handle it. No. So and I think about it all the time. And when you're talking, I was like, it's the same thing. I've never met a predator or an abuser that is not charming.
Oh my God.
Who is your dad?
Yes.
Who is not funny? Who is
Tefi,
not,
let me just tell you right now
can
that my
work with
emotionally abusive boyfriend was my dad's favorite boyfriend
No,
I've ever
literally,
had.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it
So when
happened.
people are like, my mom is like, he was so different. I was like, what two people do you know that worked a room and made everybody laugh? Abuelito and my dad.
Yeah.
And you never get to know you never got to know her father as anybody other than like Superman for so long that she didn't know the things that he probably struggled with until very much later on in life when you get to humanize your parents. So when she met my dad, she was like, oh my God, he has so many friends. He's so funny. He's adaptable. He's brave, just like
my dad. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And it's always,
it's our favorite thing about our dad.
Perfect, right? Like mine was perfect for 3 months until it's perfect until it's not.
Perfect until it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, but I get the ick really fast too. So like
do you?
So do I.
Very much.
I don't think I knew that about you.
Because well, I think when I'm young, no. When I was like younger, like a teenager, early 20s, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna get
right. Of course. Of course. Yeah.
But
Naming
then
children.
as I got older, I could immediately feel like I love a person who I don't have to babysit.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like now looking back, I confused friendliness for aprovechado. How do you say that? Like taking it up, like fresco, like cheaty. You know what I mean? Like or no boundaries. I took somebody needing to work a room and have everybody on their side as charismatic, and really what it was no boundaries and people pleasing. So when a girl hits on you, you don't know how to say, sorry, I have a girlfriend. You're like, what do you do? And the validation feels so good because that's the whole bit that you're juggling for.
Yep.
So my dad was very much like that, and my dad used to go through friends like nothing. Like I think my sister's godfather was like somebody who's like a brother to him. I haven't seen that man in 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so I remember when I go through like friend fights when you're a kid and I'm so fucking sensitive as a kid, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm just like him. So not only in my mind, I was like, my mom is so together and she knows how, she's so responsible and she's so mad at me all the time because I'm just like my dad. And then with my dad, I was like, and he hates me because I look just like my mom. And it sucked. And then you get older and you're like, none of that had anything to do with me.
Dude, the number,
None
like
of
the
it.
first hard lesson of adulthood truly is realizing that none of what your parents
Nothing
did,
is about you.
nothing is about you. And like, you don't get to blame them for shit because they're humans doing the best they can. Like realizing your parents are humans and grappling with that as like the first big adult thing. Oh my God, nothing rocks.
No, it's very weird humanizing your parents, but it's extremely liberating because again, it doesn't mean that you can't do that work of like finding those patterns and seeing where things come from and blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
But the blame game,
No.
that's what was like cool about like, you know, Hoffman, everyone take a shot because everyone knows when I love talking about it, but it's true. It's like you immediately have that awareness and whatever, but then you immediately couple that with like compassion and immediate forgiveness of like understanding that your parent, like an exercise that we do there is like we write a dialogue,
Is it a
like
cult?
a full conversation.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I think it is.
No, yeah.
Just don't get too deep in it. Yeah. Don't move in.
No. I went already. It already happened.
You know what it
But
is? It's just like when you get a lot of people together and give them tools for the first time that liberates their way that they get to view themselves and their experiences in a way that they haven't before, people make it culty.
If you could smoke betterment and healing, I would put it in a pipe.
Right.
If you could smoke that shit.
Who wouldn't? I mean, it's called mushrooms, Tefi. We've talked about this.
Yes, exactly. But yes.
I take my lessons. It's not the personality we can't deal with. Because listen, I know people who I've been like, you should go to Hoffman, and they go, and I'm like, that's hilarious. That's what you took out of it.
Right.
I'm dead.
No, I'm like, what a waste of money. You're a joke. But my point is that like an exercise that we do in that is
Are you
like
talking about your ex?
you.
When the vitriol comes out, I'm like, it's that one motherfucker.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah.
The way that I get like these visceral reactions
Uh-huh.
and like I like will say certain things, and I was in a room the other day with like
that's what you got out of it. And I was like, well, it's because your ex came out of it and he goes, I've now discovered I'm a genius. And you're like, what?
No, here's the thing. The thing like what kills me is that like the women from Pop-Up Home, which is like my favorite design store here, and they're like literally become like my tias. I'm obsessed with them.
Tefi.
You have to meet them. You would love them.
Anyway, I know about them though. I know about them.
Okay.
They're the best, and I'm obsessed with them, and they're like have taken me in like family, and I'm in love with them. Anyway, we were like having dinner, and I was like saying something about like the only time I've like gotten like some sort of like revenge, where like it came so naturally. And she looked at me and she was like, that's how Latina women do it. And I was like,
let's fucking go. Let's fucking
go. It sure is.
I feel like what you were saying about humanizing your parents is so interesting because there are two sides to it. Where one, okay, I understand now. I get it. I understand how that could affect you. Two, that's not a personality trait though. So what are we going to do about it? Like talking to my mom about anxiety, right? Like one time I was like, Mom, can you pour this water for me? We were at a restaurant. And I'm so anxious. She goes, when are you going to get over that? I went insane, bitch.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm allowed back in concrete.
Yeah.
This restaurant. But then after I freaked the fuck out, my mom, thank God, is somebody who texted me and she was like, I'm so sorry I said that to you. I didn't know. I thought you were having an anxious moment, not just like your overall anxiety. She's someone that like does that, which is really annoying because like you'll still be mad and you're like, fine, whatever. I guess you're nice to me. Right. I guess you're a good mom.
Right. Mine does that.
But there are certain things probably about Gabby's Cuban cubanazo. Like this cute ass dad, that there are some things that he will never unlearn, because if he were to unlearn them, he would lose his community or the people who admire him.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
it.
part of the facade. Oh,
Right.
if you, people that don't know what's going on in my personal life, I'm like, oh, you have no idea how.
My dad, his whole
This
life
is
has been
hitting right
trying to
now.
impress Caucasian white men to let them into their clubhouse.
Yeah, right.
So
I mean, yeah, I've never seen my dad in a pair of jeans, like in my life.
My dad wore a
Okay, I like the
three-piece
man
suit
walks
to show
around
up to
and
my birth.
whenever
yeah.
my friend Jesse wears a three-piece shirt, three-piece
Blah,
suit,
blah, blah, blah.
three-piece suit, I tell him he looks like he's in a barbershop a cappella, and he stops answering me.
Shut the fuck up. That is funny.
Like that. But
Literally.
yeah, I want to be somebody who is open to criticism. Like I got to talk to my mom the other day, and I was like, so you're telling me, okay, I have to talk to you like you're Queen Victoria, but you can talk to me any which way because I'm your daughter? That's so fucked up. So you get to talk to your coworkers and the women who love you and your assistant like they're Princess Diana. You know what I mean? But I have to, but I'm supposed to take whatever commentary from you. That sucks.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And she was like, oh, that is kind of right. And I'm like, and what?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh,
Coming in?
Yeah.
okay. So she's more, or like when my mom told me, she was like, I treat all your siblings and you the same.
Liar.
Oh my God, that would send me into a fucking tailspin. No,
Liar.
You're out of your
tailspin.
fucking
Tailspin.
mind.
Tailspin.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me?
Absolutely.
No. So parents are part of the pattern, but I don't want them to be part of the problem.
Well, also because I think too, like then we get stuck. I know that I've done this. Of like then you get stuck over analyzing every single moment. And my sister one time got so annoyed at me on the phone, and she was like, "Gabby, it doesn't matter why it happened. It happened." Like, yeah.
Well, because
like
that's the
sometimes it's
self-awareness
nice,
hell
like
piece, right? Like how far do you
right.
dig deep into the self-awareness hell where it's like, at what point am I just keeping myself here? At what point am I keeping
My
myself
fifth grade teacher was mean to me. I hate her. Mrs. Oyos, I hope you
How
suck
dare
a fat
you?
dick.
Yeah.
Literally, that's why your kids are ugly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
And
Get her.
she was so mean to me. It affected my self-esteem so much. At what point, though, do I stop bringing around 10-year-old Tefi to make decisions for me as a 32-year-old?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She can have a seat at the table, but she's not driving.
She's not driving.
Because of this, she hurt me, yes.
Yeah.
Was she, did it probably have anything to do with me?
No.
And then how much power do you continue to give her?
For your sister, it's like, you're right. I should get over it, and I'm processing it. Do you want to be part of my processing?
Yeah.
Dad told me I had cellulite. You know what I mean? Do I still have cellulite? Yes. Am I ever going to get over it? What's the alternative?
Right.
Literally.
It's the moral
What
of the
am I gonna
story
do?
of today's
That's
podcast is what's the
Wait,
alternative.
I want to end on one last
Mushrooms.
thing. Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
I know, and I'm trying to get her to. I want to end on one
I
last
know.
thing, Tefi. What's the, oh God. Gabby, give me a different word for poignant because it's the only place my brain goes. What is the most resonating or
Oh, that's
impactful
a good one.
last mental health lesson that you've
thesaurus.
learned for yourself?
Boy, I like that question.
Thank you.
The most impactful mental health lesson.
Or
that
self-growth
I
or what, take
or
it wherever you
self-growth.
want. Yeah.
I think it's probably I don't have to prepare myself for a worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because a few things in your life have gone worst case scenario. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, so I mean, I've done this. I had a therapist that did this exercise with me once, where she was like, we're talking about anxiety, like mental exercises for like when I'm in school. I like had my first panic attack at like 15, and she said, okay, like let's talk about it and whatever. I'm gonna say a scenario, right? like my boyfriend breaks up with me. Oh no, or like my boyfriend cheats on me. Okay, and then what? And then we have to break up. Okay, and then what? And then we won't get married. Okay, and then I'll be really hurt. Okay, and then when I date other people, I might treat them differently. Okay, and then like I'd grow up, and then you start talking about it. And you're like, oh, I'd meet somebody else. So that for me, at the end of the day, is like, if I'm not, doing something if I'm not playing Frogger in fucking traffic, Okay. You know, if I'm not like, I wonder if swimming with this great white shark will end badly for me. If I'm not doing something that would really, really hurt me at the end of the day, if I'm nervous about it, like let's say with my career, right? I talk about my career a lot because it's really important to me and, or the things that I want to do. Let's say I never get another follower again in my life. Okay. And then what? And then I still get to do the things that I'm doing right now. And I probably get to, focus on other things that I've always wanted to do. Okay. And then what? And then, I probably diverge away from that and start work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's always a
You
norm.
always survive it in the end.
Yeah.
I just feel like, I think that exercise for me reminds me that I am not some simulation. There is not somebody pressing buttons and I'm not some sim. I'm in control of my decisions. My emotions are mine, but so are my decisions. So like you could make me feel jealous, right? Let's say like Gaby had the party and nobody texted me and I see online. You know what I mean? That does not give me a right to go over and set your building on fire, And when the cops ask why, I say, well, she made me jealous. Oh my God, duh. No, it's
Adds
like,
up.
what happens?
Right.
Why did you set the building on fire? I was jealous. And that's not what you do. You know what I mean? So I think for me, reminding myself that I'm in control and I'm not my emotions bitch. You know what I mean? Like you might be the gas and you might be my why, my emotions. You might be my reason, but you're not driving. You know what I mean?
I think it also helps you move.
Bitch.
Looking at your own emotions.
The last
fucking
thing
bitch.
before we end, because that
Wait,
was
it helps
perfect.
you move what? It helps you move what, Gaby?
Well, I was just gonna say, like it helps you make decisions because it helps you stay in that forward motion. Yesterday, my coach said something to me that I was like, and you are smart, lady. Like, this is why I talked to you. She was saying how, like, she wrote a whole article.
Again.
No. Nope.
Not true, though. Yeah.
She wrote an article about it for Goop, and it was talking about how decisions are overrated. It's making the decision.
Yeah.
Because you can sit and just ruminate in paralysis of, like, not wanting to make a choice. But she's like, fuck it. There's no wrong choice because you made the fucking choice. And now you have to be in forward motion. Making a decision pushes you towards something.
And it's what we say about co-creating. Like there's no, I love saying this.
I
Like
thought you were
there's
gonna say
no
cocaine.
wrong
I said
cocaine. Co-creating. Like there's
That's what
no
we say
wrong
about-
decisions, right? Like if you need to make the mistake to learn the lesson, that's not a wrong decision if that's the mistake you make to learn the lesson at the end of the day. Like the universe is going to lead you to examples where you get to make the choices to get to where you need to be, whether it's what you thought it looked like or not.
And if you're never scared to do something and you do it, you never get the satisfaction of proving yourself wrong.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, totally. End on that. I love you so much. Thank you for being here.
I know. Thanks for doing this again.
Rock and roll.
Bitch. I'm kidding.
Fucking bitch.
How's it going, y'all? It's Aaron. Don't let your Monday suck. Don't have those Sunday scaries. I'm tired of everybody waking up in the week saying, shit, it's Monday. You know what goes down? TMV releases every week on Mondays. Make sure you rate and review wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're watching YouTube, yes, TMV has a YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and ring that noti bell and never miss a thing. And also, join the TMV Familia by joining the Thoughts May Vary Patreon and by following @Thoughts May Vary Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you for listening.
Great.
There you go.
Thanks, AB.
Got y'all.